auto, and life insurance needs, call Al Smith at Alpha Insurance at 706 529 6786. Al Smith and Alpha Insurance, a proud partner of Northwest Georgia football.
Welcome into the NWGA football Pickem Week 2, joined by Benton Burge and Brooks Carter. Guys, how's it going?
Doing good.
Pretty good, pretty good. Ready to keep going here. Get settled into high school football season here.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah, one wild, wacky weekend with all the rain and storms. So hopefully we can get some better weather this week.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like I said, with the storms, we had tons of upsets the first week, 6 shutouts, which I think is probably a first since I've been doing this. A couple of teams scoring over 60 points a game. Just crazy weekend in general. Week 2's probably going to be less crazy. How about that?
I hear you.
All right, we have a slew of games to get. We have a slew of games to get to, so we will jump on it. And we'll start out at the top. The big boys at the top, little boys at the bottom. Carrollton at Columbia.
Yeah, man. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one. I think Carrollton's a big favorite, and I think they'll win this one big, easy.
Yeah, I'd go same on that. I think what Columbia just played Cartersville last week, and I think the final on that was like 42-3 or something like that. So, we talked in the offseason about Columbia scheduling just an outrageous amount of powerhouses across the state. And, I think we're going to have a similar result to what they had in their opener against Cartersville last week. I expect Carrollton to win big.
Yeah, they were shut out last week by Cartersville, 40-0. I know Cartersville got a lot of young guys in that game. Like I said, expect pretty much the same this Friday night with Carrollton. This is probably one of the toughest games for me on the week. I thought about this one a ton today. East Paulding at North Paulding.
Oh, man. I mean, it is a tough one. I totally agree. And, the computers have North Paulding as an 18-point favorite. I'm not sure about that spread, but I think North Paulding being at home, I'll go with the Wolfpack in that one.
I like North Paulding as well, but I think East Paulding will play within that number of 18. I think it's going to be maybe more like a 10-point, 14-point game. I think East Paulding's got a lot of talent. They got a couple of D1 caliber guys. I know North Paulding's really good. Was really impressed with their opening week win over Parkview. So I expect North Paulding to continue that momentum, but I think East Paulding will play this one a little closer than the number.
Yeah, I think the advantage that North Paulding has going to this game is they have a game under their belt already. Season opening game for East Paulding, tons of talent. Probably one of my personal favorite running backs in Javid Best. But that the defense last weekend for North Paulding at Parkview, man, was impressive. Having to replace 9 guys, held in Parkview 6 points. I'm gonna go North Paulding. I think it'll be closer than 18, but yeah, I'll go with the Wolfpack. South Paulding at Allatoona. Allatoona is a 1-point favorite.
I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers in a close one.
I'm gonna go with South Paulding. I'm gonna stick with our Northwest Georgia football teams here. I think it is gonna be extremely close. Allatoona is basically a Paulding County school. They're on that Dallas Highway Road, just like with all 4 of the other schools down there. But yeah. So this is a close nearby game. But I'm going to lean South Paulding here. I like their head coach. I like their talent. Really big fan of their new uniforms. I know that has nothing to do with it, but maybe the aura of some new uniforms we'll get them back on track this week, and so I'm gonna stick with our Northwest Georgia football team. I'm gonna be loyal to them over a non NWGA team.
Yeah, I like the way Altoona played last week against Daresville. A lot of young talent. I'm gonna go with Altoona. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it went by that 1 point. Villarica at Northgate. Northgate is a 12-point favorite.
I don't know a lot about Northgate. I didn't have a chance to really look into this game, but I know. I think I picked Villarica last week, and it didn't work out. On the road this week at Northgate, Peter says Northgate's a 12-point favorite. I'll take Northgate in a close one.
Both 0-1 coming into this. Villarica kind of got blown out by Troup County last week, but that's always a tough team. I don't know much about Northgate either, but I know there's a lot of football talent down in Noonan, so I would lean Northgate here.
Yeah, I will agree. I'm gonna go with Northgate, man. A tough team on the road. Villarica trying to get that first win on the year. Probably one of the biggest games on the schedule for the weekend. Oxford, Alabama at Central. Oxford is a 5-point favorite.
I went back and forth on this one because I mean, Oxford is a powerhouse in Alabama, but I really like what Central has. Um, they're going to Central. This is not going to be my upset pick of the week. It's a 5-point game, but I'm going to take Central. I think the Lions are going to get it done in the big border war showdown.
I love this matchup. I love cross-state matchups like this. I love that we get to see something like this. Pretty familiar with Oxford from the standpoint of visiting there a few times. The place looks like a small college if you've never been there before. I would lean Oxford here. I think that they consistently make deep runs into the Alabama playoffs over here. I know Central's got a lot of talent, but I would lean Oxford here. But I think this game's going to play right there within that number, a touchdown or less.
Yeah, I heard somebody make the comment this week that Oxford was the Carrollton of East Alabama. Like I said, it's going to be a shootout down at Central Friday night. I, I like the home team. I picked against them last week against Spalding. They proved me wrong. I'm gonna jump on the line bandwagon this weekend. Rockmart traveling to Cartersville. Cartersville, a 24-point favorite.
Yeah, Rockmart looking for that first win after facing a tough Cedartown team. Not a good place to be looking at Cartersville. I think Rockmart is they'll put more points on the board than they did last week, but I don't know if it'll be many more. I like the Hurricanes and probably 12 to 15 points.
Yeah, I think this game will play pretty similar to what the Cedartown game did last year. I think Rockmart, obviously, they schedule these games and hope to win them. But they've made a habit out of scheduling very tough teams, several classes up. They had Dalton and a home and home the last couple of years on their schedule. Starting out with Cedartown and Cartersville. I don't think they're going to win, but I do think that these two games that they started the year with are going to bode well for them in the future, as their young team has played some really stout competition heading into region play.
Yeah, how about the 3-game stretch they had with the scrimmage? Rome, Cedartown, Cartersville, back to back to back. Super impressive. They've yet to get the offense going. I don't think this weekend is probably the weekend they do. Cartersville, outstanding defense. I'm going to go with the Hurricanes, probably by about that 24-point margin. Thursday night game, Model Blue Devils heading down to Cass. Cass is a big favorite.
And Cass can put the points on the board. They're going to play good defense. Young model squad, stingy defense, but I think Cass is going to have too much talent for Model to overcome in this one. I like Cass by a few touchdowns.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I kind of feel kind of similarly to the Rockmart Cartersville game here. You got a 2A versus 4A matchup, or sorry, a single A versus a 4A matchup here. So kind of a small school going up against a team that's established themselves as a really formidable, deep playoff threat the last couple of seasons. I expect Cass to handle business in this game, but just like with Rockmart, I think this is a game that's that model will look back to from a competition standpoint once they get deeper into their schedule.
Yeah, this is a very big, talented, fast Cass team this year. Model being young, like I said, I think they'll hang around for maybe a quarter or two, but I like Cass. Berkmar at Cedartown. Cedartown, a big favorite.
Lawrence, where is Berkmar?
Berkmar is in Atlanta. It is in Gwinnett County.
Yeah. Cedartown big.
I'll agree with that one. Not much to add there.
Chris McKelvey
Yeah,
says, I hope to never see
yeah.
a
I mean,
first quarter
I think
that
the
lasts
only
27 hours.
yeah. Yeah. I kind of think the only thing going against Cedartown this weekend is having a letdown from last weekend, beating Rockmart, now playing a team that, I mean, they probably don't even know where they're from. I mean, have guys on the team probably asking the same question. But I mean, I think they win big.
Yeah, I agree. Before I switch, we was talking about the Oxford and Central game. I got a bonus one for you. Georgia versus Alabama schools Thursday night on ESPN at 8 o'clock. Grayson, Georgia is at Thompson, Alabama. So that should be a big time matchup at 8 o'clock on ESPN Thursday night.
Oh yeah, Thompson's made. But it took it took a late score to keep Thompson from winning 5 straight state championships last year. They got upset in the final. They're the real deal.
All right. North Oconee at Dalton. North Oconee, a 2-touchdown favorite.
Yeah, I
You know,
like
I
North County. Go
sorry.
ahead, Brooks. Go ahead.
I like North Oconee in this game, but I'll be honest. I was considering all of the freshmen that had to play, like underclassmen for Dalton. I wasn't expecting a ton. If you actually watched that North Murray game last week, I know that North Murray wound up beating them by a couple of scores. Dalton had 2 touchdowns called back in that game. One of them was a really long touchdown pass from that freshman quarterback. I mean, rolling out, throws it across his body. It was a beautiful ball. I think this is a team that's a lot of people are probably going to be down on, and they may only have a sub 500 record this year. I don't know, but I think this is going to be a team that gets better every single week. To have as many freshmen as they had on the field, I thought they were more competitive than what I was anticipating.
Yeah, man, that one guy. I'm not sure what play it was, and I'm trying to think the kid's name, but he looked super athletic. He was all over the field. Scored on a big uh, run or return or something. I seen the video of, and then I later found out he's super young as well. So Dalton's going to be tough in the future.
Yeah, we talked about it over the weekend, just what kind of schedule Dalton has going forward, and this is just another one of those tough games they have, man. North Oconee ranked team right now. Um, I like North Oconee and Dalton to get the win.
I agree.
Eastside. Eastside. Speaking of ranked teams, man, Eastside knocked off a top 10 6A school this past weekend. They'll be on the road at Hiram. Eastside's a 27-point favorite.
Yeah, Max Preps has Eastside as like the number 4 ranked team in their division. There, Hiram, um, talented team, especially at Hiram. I think I'm going to take Eastside, but I'm going to take them less than 27. I don't think there's no way that they beat Hiram by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I like I like Eastside in this one. Hiram can put up a lot of points, but we saw last week, man, their defense can give up a lot of points. Also, probably not something you want to do against a number 3 or 4 ranked team in the state.
Yeah.
I like Eastside. I think Hiram will keep it closer than the 27. Brooks, you there? Coosa at Southeast Whitfield. Coosa is an 8-point favorite.
Yeah, I think Coosa gets a win here, gets in the win column, and I think it's going to be an interesting game to see. Gordon Central put a lot of points on Southeast last week. We're trying to get a barometer on where Gordon Central is, where Southeast is, and we'll throw Coosa in the mix here. It'll be interesting to see how this game turns out. But I'm going to take Coosa. Um, I think Coosa wins by a few touchdowns. I've seen some video that I've watched on Coosa, and I like the new quarterback, and they have some athleticism out there. So, new head coach, which seems to be everybody rallying behind him and going in the right direction. So I like Coosa in this one, getting ready for region play.
Y'all still got me. I had to hop off for a phone call real quick.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I agree with Ben here. I'll take Coosa.
Yeah.
I just don't know about I grew up in Whitfield County. I got a soft spot for Southeast. Just I would love to see that program even get back to what they looked like in 2017 when Coach Gray was there. But I just don't have a lot of optimism for them this season. I'll take Coosa here.
Yeah, it's kind of like we were talking about earlier with the North Paulding, East Paulding game. The only advantage Southeast has is, one, they're at home. 2, they have a game under their belt. Coosa opening the season this Friday. But, yeah, I like the Eagles in this one. Woodstock at Woodland is a Thursday night game. Woodstock is a 2-point favorite.
I'm gonna go with the home team. I'm gonna go with Woodland. That'd make Woodland 2-0, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Woodland's gonna get it done in a close one.
I love the non region games that Woodland has scheduled. They played they played the other Woodland the first week, and now they're playing Woodstock. I love the name, the play on the names there for the first couple of weeks. I'll take Woodland too here. I think that they have got a lot of talent. I think Lawrence, didn't you see them back in the spring against North Cobb Christian? I think they got some players. They're just in a loaded region. So their record may not indicate how good they actually wind up being this year, just because they got to play the Cartersvilles and the Cedar Towns of the world. But I actually think they got a lot of talent, and they got a really good head coach that was in a situation where he was at a really tough job at Lafayette. So I think he's going to get the most out of that team.
Yeah, I think they found something in the fourth quarter the other night in that game against Woodland Stockbridge. Scored 17 points in the fourth quarter to come back from 14 down, kicked a last-second field goal. I love Coach Scott down there at Woodland. I'm going with the home team. I'm going with the Wildcats. East Forsyth at Dawson County. East Forsyth, the 12-point favorite.
Yeah, I've been to Dawson one time, and it did not turn out well for us. I think they didn't return very much. I think they had a quarterback maybe coming back. I just I can't pick them yet. I think they got some growing to do. I'm going to go with East Forsyth, and probably a 2-touchdown game, about what the spread says.
I'm going to pick the home team here. I think that's a long trip up to Dawson County from Forsyth County, up into the northeast Georgia there. Huge fan of Coach Maxwell. I think he does a great job, and so I'm. You know what? This is going to be my upset of the week here. I wanted to pick one different than y'all here. This is my upset of the week here. I'm going to take Dawson County.
All right, upset of the week. Cue the button. Dawson County over Eastern South. Write it down.
Yeah, this is the first game for Dawson County. They were off last weekend. Don't really have a good barometer on them yet. They played really well in the scrimmage game against Cass. But I'm gonna have to agree with Benton. I'm going with East Forsyth in this one. Pickens at Sonoraville. Sonoraville is a 3-point favorite.
This is a tough one to pick right here, guys. I've seen Sonoraville. Pickens with a victory over Pepperell last week. I kind of went back and forth about 5 times when I was picking this game, and Pickens must have found something. They come back from down 14. Man, at the furnace, it's going to be ruckus. It's going to be loud. I tell you what, give me Sonoraville in a close one, and I'm not sure why, but give me Sonoraville. I think the big tight end, that's what I'm going to go with. I think the big tight end makes a play or two, and he's difficult to stop.
I think I'm going to lean Sonoraville as well. Being at home, this will be a big game for them too, especially before going into to region play. For all the teams in 7-2A, this is they only got 2 non-region games before they get into region play. So this is a chance for them to play a team a classification up from them and challenge themselves, maybe get some points towards those power rankings. And I think they're going to be motivated to get back on track and get a W in the column after losing the model last week.
Yeah, counting the scrimmage game at Chattooga and then last week versus Model, man, it kind of looks like Sonoraville hasn't found the offense yet. 21 combined points in those 2 games. Pickens putting up a bunch of points in their last 2 games, counting the scrimmage. That being said, I like Sonoraville at home. Close
I
one.
thought you were leaning.
Yeah.
You gave us the old Herb Street on game day there. He always sets it up on one side and then just flips it right at the end of the pick.
Adairsville, it's another Thursday night game. Adairsville at Pepperell. Adairsville, 23-point favorite.
Yeah, I think Adairsville is good enough to get the win. I think Pepperell will challenge, though. I think 23 may be too much. I'll give Adairsville, about a 2-touchdown win in this one at Pepperell.
Yeah, I think I'll go Adairsville too. I think I honestly think that Cal Preps has been who we get our numbers and rankings and stuff from. I think they've been low on Pepperell, like really low on them, all off season, and I think they're a lot better. They've had a pretty tough non-region schedule to start the year. I think this will play within the number as well, but I like Adairsville to beat the Dragons.
Yeah, I have to agree. Adairsville too tall and too fast in the skill positions. Like I said, I think they'll play within the 23, but I like Adairsville on the road. Union County at Gilmer. Cal Prep says it's a coin flip.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Gilmer. I think I like what I saw the first half against Fannin. If they can get some more of that, I think Gilmer is good enough to beat Union this time around.
I like Gilmer in this game. The only kind of caveat that I would like, the one thing I would say that is in Union County's favor that is usually kind of a bonus for Gilmer is that triple option offense, that wing T offense is hard to prepare for on like when you're in the season. But this is Union's first game, so they've been seeing it in practice for several weeks. feel like usually that triple option wing T offense can get you when you're in the midst of the season and you're not used to seeing it every week. But when these Union guys have probably been looking at this offense for 4 weeks now, with game install and all that stuff, having not played a game yet. So I think I do think that's going to be in Union's favor, but I still think Gilmer's going to come out victorious.
Yeah, and I will make it 3 for Gilmer County. LFO at Heritage. Heritage is a big 31-point favorite.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Cody Bryan doesn't score 4 more touchdowns this week. He might, but I'm going to give Heritage a win, and give him let's see, plus or minus 2 touchdowns, probably even. Playmaker right there.
Yeah, I was impressed with Heritage opening week. I expected that Christian Heritage game to play a lot closer than it was. I thought it maybe be a 2 touchdown game, not a 42-17 game. I know LFO got an opening week win. Mac Bryan continues to improve that team now going into year 3. But I think Heritage will handle this one comfortably. I think it'll play within that number. I like Heritage by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Heritage did a great job last week. A shout out to Heritage Generals and especially Cody Bryan, man. I saw some of those film from some of those touchdown catches he made. Impressive young fella. I'm going Heritage here. Gordon Lee at Lafayette. Gordon Lee, a 6-point favorite.
Yeah, I saw Gordon Lee last week at Trine. As advertised, they got Stoker. He got loose on a long pass. They kind of struggled to run the ball against Trine. I think they'll have a lot more fortune against Lafayette. They were able to move the ball through the air some. I think I'll take Gordon Lee. I think Gordon Lee's offense shows up pretty big here at Lafayette on the orange turf.
The last 2 years, these 2 teams were region opponents, going back to it being non-region, but this year. But this game has Gordon Lee won the last 2 years in both games by like a combined 5 points. So this has been a very tight game the last 2 years. But I actually think Gordon Lee wins this one by a couple of scores. I think they got too much talent at the skill position for Lafayette to keep up with, and I like Gordon Central to win and cover.
Yeah, I thought Gordon Lee played real well last weekend, first half against Trine. Hung with them, a physical team, a lot of speed. Yeah, I think they get it done at Lafayette Friday night. Northwest Whitfield at North Murray. North Murray getting a big computer boost this week after that Dalton upset. North Murray at 17-point favorite.
All right, I'm going to lead it off, and I'm going to cue up the button. I'm going to go with Northwest for my upset pick of the week. And I just like what I've seen from Gavin Knuckles. I like their passing game. Their defense has been good. I don't know if you're going to line up and bludgeon Northwest Whitfield, kind of like North Murray done last week. I think it's going to be more difficult to run the ball. I think this will probably be like a coming out party for Northwest. I think they're going to announce themselves here. I don't know if they win big, but I think they win. And 17 is just too much on North Murray's side. Like you said, the computer just giving them a big boost for the upset last week.
I'm honestly kind of up in the air. I'm leaning Northwest in a win, but this could be a whole redemption tour for North Murray this year. They was a very emotional win over Dalton last week. I do worry about them how they respond to that coming back this week, beating Dalton for the first time in school history. But I'm sure Coach Pogue is telling them, I don't know if y'all remember this game last year. North Murray kind of had a little bit of a meltdown. Northwest should not have won this game. They came back from, I think they trailed it maybe like by 4 scores or something. Like they had an unbelievable comeback to win this game at home last year against North Murray. So I'm sure that's fresh in North Murray's brain. But just something in my gut tells me that Northwest will win the game, but I think it's going to be like a 1-score game. I think it's going to be tight, and I would not be surprised if North Murray wins.
Yeah, I was actually on the sidelines last year for that game, and it was a pretty incredible to watch. Like I said, North Murray jumped out in the first half and completely dominated the game from the start. Northwest came out and dominated the second half, won on a last-second field goal. I think this year's contest is going to be pretty much the same. I kind of sound like Benton last year with Dalton. Man, I feel bad. I don't want the North Murray fans think I'm always picking against them, but I am going Northwest Whitfield in this one. Armurchie on the road at Ridgeland. Ridgeland a 2-point favorite.
Yeah, I think this could be a barn burner here, man. A lot of defense, maybe not so much offense, especially in the beginning of the season. I mean, you're the Armurchie expert. What say you? I'll let you go first, Lawrence.
It's kind of like one of the other games we talked about before. I think the advantage that Ridgeland has is they've got a game under their belt. Had a chance to work some things out, get the butterflies out of their system. Armurchie, first game of the season, they've had trouble scoring the ball, in the scrimmage. But they have had that extra week to work on things. I am going to take the home team in a low-scoring, very close game.
I like it. Last week, like you said, Ridgeland got going and at least got to play the first game and played Lakeview to a 19-9 game. I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the road team. I'm going to go with the Blue Indians. I think Armurchie wins in like a 13-12 type game.
I'm going to go Ridgeland here. I think we saw one incredibly long losing streak snapped last week with Gordon Central, having their 31 game streak snapped. Ridgeland's now stands at 30 consecutive games that they've lost. I think they scheduled this way. What they've kind of played down through the first 4 games in their non-region up in 3A. I think all of them are double or single A teams. They're looking for that win, and I think they scheduled for it, and I think they find it this week.
Scott Blevington says Armurchie held model 13-6. Sorry.
Yeah, a game I know both you guys will be at this weekend. Cahulla Creek at Chattooga. Cahulla Creek a 4-point favorite.
You want to lead off there, Brooks?
Well, I told Lawrence in the off season.
Yeah. Well, you can talk about it. You don't have to pick it.
Yeah,
you can just talk about it.
I'm as Cahulla's director of media and being on staff with them, I'm gonna absolve myself from picking any of their games this year. But keys to victory for Cahulla, they got to be able to get the run game going. They've really struggled the first couple of weeks in their preseason game against Gordon Central and against Northwest Whitfield to establish the line of scrimmage. Haven't given quarterback enough time to throw the football and haven't been able to establish the run game. They're averaging probably only 2 or 3 yards a carry running the football. So that's got to be a priority. Something they've done really well is get defensive penetration, and I think that's got to continue. Secondary looked much improved last week compared to their preseason games. So it's a rebuilding year for Cahulla, and I think they're going to get better each week. Looking to see what those improvements look like after playing a really stout Northwest team in week 1.
Mark?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but I think the key to beating Chattooga is you have to stop the run. I was real impressed with the way Chattooga Indians' offensive line played week one. If it continues this weekend in Summerville, I think Chattooga gets the win.
Yeah, I think we say it all the time. It's a line of scrimmage game, and they look much improved over last year. Getting uh, I say should be getting the big left tackle back this week, even though the young guy, uh, I think his name was Rylan Ledford, played left tackle, and he did an outstanding job as a sophomore. The key is going to be stopping Cook and Gibson in the backfield, and I think it's going to be a close one, just like last year. I think Chattooga just may have too many horses, so I'll take Chattooga in a close one.
Ringgold at Murray County. Ringgold, a big favorite in this one.
Yeah, I think Ringo, got two good backs. We watched Ringo at Dade County. I had Fries was there, and I wish I could remember number 27's name, but he ran the ball well. They were able to throw the ball. They scored one touchdown, a big tight end, and they got a speedster outside. So I like Ringo. They'll probably win this one pretty big.
Yeah, I think this is actually probably our first region matchup that we have of any of the games that we've had the first couple of weeks. Ringgold and Murray actually moved their start of region play up 1 week because Ringgold and Heritage are going to play next week in their annual rivalry. So that being said, I think Ringgold wins this one big. Was honestly shocked at the score that Murray had last week. I thought that game would be a lot more competitive, and was impressed with Ringgold, especially the way they were able to close out that game. An opportunistic defense. I think it was Cole Runyon. Is that his name?
Yep.
Was one. He was one of the recognized by Georgia Football Daily, High School Football Daily, as like one of the players of the week this week. So I think they win this one big.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Tigers in this one. Like I said, Frost is number 27. I think he's a sophomore running back. You got Hayden Freeze as RB1. Curious to see who comes out at quarterback this weekend. Starter went down last week in the third quarter, but that freshman they brought in, man, looked pretty good. So I think they're in pretty good hands.
Either way,
I'll go with the Tigers. Yeah. North Cobb Christian at Darlington. North Cobb Christian is a 12-point favorite.
This is a tough one. I didn't get a chance to watch any of that Darlington game, but I do know who they have coming back. I think at Darlington makes this game even closer, but I like North Cobb by a smidge, however much that is.
I am curious, and I don't know. We may have to ask Scott about this. Do the private schools get extra bonus points for playing other private schools or something? I'm just curious. Both of their non-region games are against private schools. North Cobb Christian, they play Providence Christian, and then they're playing Darlington. But just kind of a side note there. I like North Cobb in this game. But I do think it's going to be pretty close. I think Darlington being at home will play this within that number. I like North Cobb Christian by maybe 3 or 4 points here.
Yeah. I was kind of shocked at how many points Darlington gave up last weekend to Mount Vernon. Was it 47 points on defense?
Yeah, that's what I just saw here.
Probably one of the top sophomore quarterbacks in the state this weekend, and Teddy Jarrett at North Cobb Christian. I think North Cobb Christian will put up some points. I like North Cobb in this one. Jordan at Bremen. The Blue Devils opening their season this Friday night.
Yeah, Bremen, tough place to go. Great place to watch a game. I like Bremen big. Too athletic. Too much talent.
Yeah, I agree with Benton there. I think opener at home, as he mentioned, that's a great crowd there. They'll be fired up, ready to go, and I think they'll put a big number up in this game.
Yeah, they had an extra week to prepare. I watched the Rockmart scrimmage and the Mount Zion scrimmage they had, and I was super impressed with the defense. I think the Blue Devils are going to have an outstanding season in 24. I think they get off to a pretty good start this Friday night.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. You know, not looking ahead, but I'm looking ahead. I can't wait to see that Bremen Valve, man. That's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be a battle. Oh, sorry. Next slide. I was wondering what we were waiting on.
Yeah. Haralson County at Pike. Haralson's 10-point favorite.
You know, Harrison County with the big win last week. Computers like them again here, and so do I. I like Harrison to get their second win.
I'll roll with Harrelson too. I think they're an improved team this year, and I think that's going to continue this week, starting out 2-0.
Yeah, I don't know much about either team, but I'm gonna go Haralson County. South Atlanta at Herd. Herd is a 5-point favorite.
Yeah, Herd's got a bunch of young talent. They come up to trying for the scrimmage game, scored 21 points and a half. I think Herd's good enough to get a win here against South Atlanta, probably by a touchdown, maybe 10 points.
I think this will be should be a good game. South Atlanta's been a pretty consistent playoff threat the last. I think I'm looking at it here. They've made the playoffs the last 8 years, 7 or 8 years. So I think this should be a tight game. I think that number's right where it needs to be. I like Herd County by a touchdown.
Yeah, I know Herd should be healthy this weekend. I think I saw 23 people touch the ball last week in their big win over Clarkston. They should be ready to go. I like Herd. Clarkston at Temple. Temple is a 35-point favorite.
Yeah, I think CJ Gray and the boys put the points up this week and get ready for that trip up to Sam R. McCain the following week.
Yeah, I said this on a show earlier this summer. One of the most shocking stats I came across this offseason was the fact that Temple had never won more than 6 games in a season, and I said I think they break that record this year, and so they win this one big, and they need to win this one in order for my prediction to come true. So they win this one and win it going away.
Yeah, I think Temple's goal this week obviously is to win, but to stay healthy for that big matchup with Trine 2 weeks. I like Temple. Speaking of Trine is heading up to Magic Morgan, Dade County. Trine's an 8-point favorite.
I like the physicalness of Dade County. Ringo didn't exactly run the ball amazing against them. Had a couple turnovers that hurt them late. I think Dave's going to hang in there. I think the key is going to be Trine's passing game. I think Trine's ability to move the ball through the air and mix it up is going to be the ultimate factor. I think they'll beat Dave by about 2 touchdowns or so.
Now, this was the closest game that Trine played in the regular season last year. Was actually against. They went 10-0 in the regular season. This was the only game that was within a touchdown that they played all season last year. So Dade played them tough, and I think they'll play them tough again. But I still like trying to win.
Yeah, the one thing for sure is going to be a hard hitting physical game on both sides of the ball. Man, these guys can bring it. I like Trine by a couple of scores. One of the top games of the week, Raven County, which is number 10 in the Cal Preps poll, versus number 9, Fannin County. Fannin County, a 4-point favorite.
Yeah, it's one of those tough games. Mm, mm, mm. You know what? I'm gonna take Fannin at home, and I'm not sure about them being favorited, but I'm gonna take them at home anyway. Something tells me go with Fannin. Um, Chad Cheatham and the boys at home. I'll take Fannin.
I'm going to take Rabun County here. I just think kind of give them the benefit of the doubt here. I know Fannin's really talented, and I think they're still going to have a really, really good season. But the thing that strikes me about Rabun is they've continued to schedule tough out of region, and they're not scared to go play anybody. They got Dalton coming up in a couple of weeks. They play Bremen in the non-region, and they don't back down from anybody. And they've consistently had deep playoff runs the last few years, and so I like them in this game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a packed house up in Blue Ridge on Friday night. Electric atmosphere. I know Fannin County's playing with a chip on their shoulder this year. I like Fannin at home in a very close game. Butler at Gordon Central. Butler is a 12-point favorite.
Yeah, Butler's got a long trip to make. Gordon Central coming off lighting the scoreboard up last week, and breaking a 31 game losing streak. I'm going to take Gordon Central to start another streak. It'll be a 2 game win streak. GC with the W.
Yeah, we were talking in our group chat earlier today, and just looking at Gordon Central's schedule, I actually think they have a chance to start 3-0, which is crazy considering what their record was coming into this year. I think they. I'll just go ahead and make my prediction for next week. I think they go 3-0 into region play, and that includes the win against Butler.
David Pollard says Butler is a basketball school. Oh, somebody's hit the button.
Cue it up, man. That's my upset pick of the week. I'm going to ride the Warrior bandwagon, man. I was real impressed with what they did in week 1. Jaden Sibley, quarterback over there, 9 of 11 for 280, 5 touchdowns. Fleetwood out there at wide receiver, tight end, had a huge game. Going with the Warriors. Bowden, 12-point favorite at Macon County.
Bowden, going all the way down to Montezuma, Georgia. Macon County is a long way down there. I guess not as far from Bowden as it is from
Montezuma,
where we are. But actually, I've been to Macon County to play a game one time. We lost 14-7 to Macon County. I'll take Bowden, and I think they're going to win by more than 12.
I would agree with that. I think Bowden keeps rolling as they are on their strive for a three-peat here. I know that's their goal this year, and I think they're, at least for now, going to keep going towards that here in their non-region schedule.
Yeah, they lost week 1 last year by 1 point. I would hate to be the week 2 opponent after Bowden gets beat. I think the key to this trip is going to be, I saw their schedule, their itinerary for Friday. They're going to be stopping at Outback in Columbus on the way down. I think that's going to push them over the hill. I like Bowden big on the road.
Hey, I might just run them off the field.
Mount Zion at Ranburne, Alabama. Ranburne is a 6-point favorite.
I'm gonna say Mount Zion throws the ball to Xavier Buckner some more. And super impressive catch last week for a touchdown. Hauled it in with one hand. I think Mount Zion's going to get a close win over the state line.
Yeah, I'll go with Mount Zion here. I don't know anything about Ranburne, Alabama. I'm trying to look up there. They were 4-6 last year. Yeah, I mean they've been sub 500 the last couple of years. I think Mount Zion's got some talent at the skill position, and we're gonna be a homer here and go with our in-state team, Mount Zion.
Yeah, from what I understand, man, Mount Zion, that game with Chattahoochee last week was called at halftime. They were up 31-0. Knox Israel, a huge game at quarterback for them, very talented kid. I'm gonna go with Mount Zion, and I'm in the same boat as Brooks Carter. I have no idea about Ramburn, Alabama.
Dave Pollard said
They could be a
Mount Zion
power.
will have too much speed for him.
I don't even know where it's at. I'm like, I'm gonna have to look it up on a map.
All right,
boy.
and then Paulding County at North Atlanta. North Atlanta is a 17-point favorite.
Yeah, on the road, I think it makes it tough. I think North Atlanta is going to get a closer than 17 point, but I like the win.
David Pollard says Ramburn is right across the state line from Bowden.
Yeah, I just looked it up. There's a running joke in Alabama that you're gonna every tornado season you're gonna learn a new city in Alabama, because there's gonna be a city that goes through there's gonna be a tornado that goes through a small town in Alabama that you've never heard of, and that's like clockwork. So, like, that's what I just thought of when you said Rambert. I'm like, I've never heard of this place.
Yeah.
Paulding County. I mentioned before we got on earlier. I think. I think Paulding County's got a lot of talent, and I was really impressed with the way they played Hiram. Pretty talented Hiram team. I'm inclined to maybe go upset here, and I might just do it. I'm going to. Can we do double upset alert? I'm going to go Paulding County outright in this game, upset over North Atlanta.
Look, we can do anything we want to do, so we can go double upset alert.
Yeah. I like Paulding County also. I don't think they'll win the game. I think they'll play North Atlanta close. But yeah, I was real impressed with that offense last week. 41 points on Hiram. Quarterback made Mason Bryant. He threw for over 250 yards. He missed all of last season with an injury. Back for his senior year. Real impressive so far. Ant Bell out there at wide receiver had over 100 yards receiving. I think things are looking good for the Patriots.
Yes, sir.
Is that our final slide of the night?
That is it.
Well, all right, guys. Like I said, man, we have a ton of games to go through every week now. So thanks everybody for being with us. And
once region plays start, this list will shrink down a little bit.
True. I'm just going to take a second to thank Al Smith and Alpha Insurance for the advertisement, he's always been a supporter since he come on last year. This is the second year supporting Northwest Georgia football, and we're here just to help get the kids' names out there. And I've got the intro video set up for next week. Lawrence has already previewed it. He gave me the it's good. So we'll talk about the kids in the video during the Friday night scoreboard.
Yeah, a teaser, man. I think there's a Cane, an Indian, a Brave, and maybe a Tiger in there, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
And a General. I bet you can't guess who. I bet you can't guess who the General is.
Yeah, we're not talking car insurance here either.
Yeah.
So.
No.
But
we'll
tune in
Friday night, 11 p.m. Friday night.
And see a handful of highlights from these guys. Yep. All right, guys. Until next time.